Okay, lesson 47, rate unit conversions and more on fractional exponents. If you've not gotten unit conversions yet, this might be a good opportunity to see it again and maybe try to get it. So use unit multipliers to convert 42 inches per second to miles per hour. The difference in these problems is we're dealing with both time and distance. Usually it's just distance, convert miles to inches, something like that. This time we have two units. We have seconds and we have miles. First thing I'm going to do is write this as a fraction. So you have 42 inches per second. You want to start working one or the other. Like we'll start with the inches and change it into miles, and then we'll take the seconds and change it into hours. We're going to be using unit multipliers to work this out. So if we're going to take inches into miles, we're going to go inches, then we're going to change it into feet, and then we can change our feet into miles. We need to know the unit conversions for these. We know that there's 1 foot in 12 inches. We know that there's 5,280 feet per mile. Those are the two unit conversions that we need. We might need to flip them around, but these are equal to 1. 1 foot is the same as 12 inches, so these are we're just multiplying everything by 1, which doesn't change the value of the fraction. The way you know which one to use is you go over here, and whatever unit is on the top, you need to have it on the bottom because we don't want inches anymore. We want them to be able to cross out. So we are going to use this form of this unit conversion. So we're going to put 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. Put the inches down there. You always put these opposite because you don't want this one anymore. You're trying to get rid of it. So we're going to cross it out. Same thing for the next one. We don't want feet anymore, so we need to put the feet on the bottom. So we're going to flip that unit multiplier over to get 5,280 feet per mile. Now the feet cross out. So we have our unit of miles like we wanted. Now we have an issue because we have seconds and we want it to go into hours. So we're going to change our seconds to minutes and our minutes to hours. We're just kind of ignore these two conversions right now. So seconds, so we would put, since seconds are on the bottom and we need them to cross out, I'm going to put seconds on the top. And we're going to convert them to minutes, so there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. See how the seconds will cross out. Now we need to go from minutes to hours. So the minutes are on the bottom, so if we want them to cross out, the minutes are going to have to go on the top. We want hours on the bottom. There's 60 minutes in 1 hour, so the minutes cross out. Now we have all of our units. We have 42, for all our numbers, 42 times 60 times 60. You don't have to put the ones. There's just 1 and 1 here. All over 12 times 5,280 times 1 times 1, and this would be miles, because that's the only thing left, per hour. It's the only unit left on the bottom. And if we multiply that out in our calculators, we're going to get 2.39 miles per hour. This is a really good skill to have, so make sure you understand that. Let's try another one. Use unit multipliers to convert 480 miles per hour to feet per second. This looks like the same thing. So miles per hour to feet per second. So here we go. We want miles on the bottom, and we're going to go miles into feet. So the feet would go on the top. Remember, there's 5,280 feet in 1 mile. So the miles cross out. We want it in feet per second. So that was pretty easy. We already have it in feet. Now we have to work our hour down. So we need to put the hour on the top so it crosses out with the hour in the denominator. And we go to minutes. So we know that there is 60 minutes in 1 hour. The hours cross out. Then we go into seconds. We want the minutes to cross out, so the minutes have to go on the top. Over seconds, 60 seconds, and 1 minute. And again, we would just multiply 480 times 5,280 divided by 60 and 60. These minutes cross out, so we'd have feet per second. And you can use your calculator if you want, or you can just write 480 times 5,280 over 60 times 60, and it would be feet, is what we have left, over seconds. Let's do one more of these. Use unit multipliers to convert 15 inches per second to the right of the fraction, inches per second, into yards per hour. So let's just work our length down first. We're going to yards, so we know that we want to cross our inches out. We're going to go to feet first. You could go directly to yards. They never do that. You could say inches and yards. There's 36 inches in 1 yard, but they don't seem to do that. You get the same answer. So there are 12 inches in 1 foot, so the inches cross out. We want the feet to cross out, so we put the feet down here, the feet will cross out. So we have 3 feet in 1 yard. And then we just work our seconds into hours. So we go seconds, we'll go up here, so they would cross out. 60 seconds in 1 minute. And then we go minutes to hours. Minutes. We're going to hours. Minutes will cross out. We get 60 minutes in 1 hour. Then you would just multiply all that through, and you would have 15 times 60 times 60 over 12 times 3, and it would be yards, so that's what's left, per hour. So hopefully that's not too complicated. If you never got it before, hopefully this was the time that you got it. There's a second part to this lesson. This is a little tricky. These are called trick problems because there's a trick involved, and you have to recognize the trick. So let's give this a try here. We are to simplify these radicals. Now remember, if this is your index, this 3, and it's on the seat, and the seat goes on the bottom. So the first thing you want to do with these problems is you need to change them from radicals into fractional exponents. So here's where the trick comes in. We can only do problems, simplify problems like these when these two bases are the same. Like if I had 3, square root of 3, square root of, and third root of that one. We would say 3. We would change this into fractional exponent, 3 to the 1/2. And since all of this is under the radical, all of this would be in the parentheses. And remember, this is on the feet, and it would go on the bottom. Bottoms go on the feet. And because these bases are the same, just like if we had x squared times x to the 3rd, we're going to get x to the 5th. You add the exponents when the bases are the same. Even though these are numbers, they're still bases. So we would add our exponents. So 1 is the same as 2 over 2, right? And just putting it, making a common denominator. So this would be 3 to the 3/2, because we're adding those, to the 1/3 power. So when the bases are the same, we can add our exponents, and then we have a power to power, so we multiply 3 to the 3/6, or 1/2. Now this one, if you notice, the bases are not the same, but the trick to these problems is that you can make the bases the same. So before we begin, we're going to begin to put them into fractions. We're going to make the bases the same. 27, all these problems work out like this in this lesson anyway. 27 can be written with a base of 3. We can write 27 as 3 to the what power? 3 squared would be 9, 3 to the 3rd would be 27. This can be written as 3 to the 1/2 power. So these, and you'll see 4 the same way. We could write it as the base of 2. You want to make the bases the same before you begin. So then we have 3 to the 3rd times 3 to the 1/2. Remember, this square root of 3 is the same as 3 to the half. This would be a little index of 2. It goes in the bottom to the 1/3 power. Now we can add our exponents. 3 is the same as 6 halves, right? So we would have 3, 6 halves and 1 half would be 7 halves to the 1/3 power. And when we multiply them, because it's now power to power, we get 3. This is all just understanding exponent rules. 3 to the 7/6. I love doing these problems. Alright, let's try. I think I just have one more of these. Let's write the bases. The bases need to be the same, so we can just go right into these parentheses. It's all inside of these parentheses. It's on the seed as a 6, so we have fraction 1/6. This would be 2 squared. We want to try to get it with the same base as that, times 2 to the 1/2. 2, if we want to make it a base of 2, it's going to be 4 over 2. And that way the denominators are the same and we can easily add them. So we get 2 to the 5 halves, 2 to the 1/6 power. And now we have the bases don't have to be the same because we're multiplying, so we get 2 to the 5/12 power. So hopefully those weren't too hard for you. If not, we'll go over them in class. Alright, that's our first of 3 lessons this week. We're going to do lessons 47, 48, and 49.